I'm about to lose my brain stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put two dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coon. The white man to go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make sense.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your
Ahmadiyyah.
skin?
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, given to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
Touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't here for my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric Malcolm.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got All right. Hello, everyone. Grand Rising. Thanks for tuning in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right, let's see who is in here. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._A_Shakur, TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, Twitter at DGoddess27. And if you don't like what the Queen is cooking, you already know what to do. Just unfollow, unsubscribe. Keep it pushing. Hello, Tasty Cake, Mr. Hotel said the undisputed Queen is black. Princess Netra is in the house. Ayo Gald, I hope I said that right. Re-educated Soul. Terry Hinton says the Queen has arrived. RG Tight, all hell nah. DD in Dallas. Juju is here. Queen look amazing. Thank you, beloved. Latasha, Tia, Nessie X. All right, Courtney J, I see you. Janelle, Cherokee Descendant, Dale, Nicole, Juju's in the house, Priscilla, Eileen. Okay, so let's get into it. The Empress Sheba is here. Shout out to everyone in the chat and everyone tuned into the Queen. I see you, 504 Nola, Conspicuous 82, Danielle, Aeon is here, Eduardo, Root Track is in the house. Okay, Felicia Cox, Silent D, Deronda. Shout out to all my moderators, G from the land, putting in the work. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. Get those likes up, beloveds. I see you, Jasmine, Virgo, Stacy, Quentin. You all know they have the Queen Shadow Band, honey. Please pay attention. And I am unsettled this morning because I forgot my water. I'm going to have to go and get it at some point. Okay, so now let's talk about this movie that I happened to see last night. All right. I happened to see this movie last night after someone reached out to me and told me that I should watch this movie and do a review on it because it contains my lifelines. Say what now? Yeah, someone reached out to me and said, Queen, you need to watch this movie called Leave the World Behind by the Obamas because this movie contains your lifelines. So I want y'all to pay attention. The lifelines that I've been giving you since November of 2020. So let's talk about it. Tasty Cake said you watched it, okay? The Empress Sheba said she watched it also. All right, Nessa G said she watched it as well. Okay, so let's talk about it then, because if you all watched it, then you absolutely know that my lifelines were, in fact, in that movie. Nicole called them copycats. Nicole called them copycats. But so let's talk about it. So this is what they say about it per a Fox News report. We're going to talk about that first. They say, Barack Obama produced his first fiction movie for Netflix and gave extensive notes to the director for the cyber attack plot. Now, let me tell you all something. Didn't I tell you all several times that there was likely going to be a cyber attack and that perhaps the U.S. would blame it on Russia, but it might actually be they themselves? Now, in the movie, that's what they alluded to, a cyber attack, but they didn't say it was the U.S. or Russia. They said that it was Koreans or the Iranians now, or the Afghans. Now, here's the thing. So let me just start. Hold on. Let me just finish this article first, and then we'll get into that. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Okay, so the movie stars Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke from Training Day, and Mahershala Ali. Now, they say Barack and Michelle Obama have produced their first fiction film on Netflix called Leave the World Behind, about a cyber attack that shuts down all the country's power, crippling the United States. How many times have I told y'all that? I want y'all to pay attention. I've told y'all numbers of times that there will be a cyber attack that shuts down the power grid likely, and that we won't be able to use the internet. We won't be able to communicate via our phones or any of those things. None of our electronic devices. Didn't I tell you all that? I'm sorry. Didn't I tell you all that? But let me continue. Because when I told you all this, some of you said it sounded like Red Dawn, which somebody says, Obsidian Blaze says, then I had my littles watch Red Dawn. Exactly. Because that's what some of y'all said it sounded like. But hold on, let me continue. Now, the Obamas provided movie notes for director Sam Esmail's latest film starring Julia Roberts, and I already told you who stars in it. Kevin Bacon was in it too. Now, it is the first fictional movie executive produced by a couple through their Higher Ground Productions, or by the couple through their Higher Ground Productions company, which has a multi-year deal with Netflix. A family's getaway to a luxurious rental home takes an ominous turn when a cyber attack knocks out their devices and two strangers appear at the door. Okay, and so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because this movie was good. This movie was good and it had a lot of subliminals. Okay, now for those of you who haven't seen it, I have to warn you, spoiler alerts. I'm going to try to give as little spoiler alerts as possible, but there will be spoiler alerts. So if you haven't seen it, you may not want to listen to this part of the live. You may want to leave out and come back. Okay, Nubia Ross says you didn't finish it yet. You might want to leave out and come back. Okay, somebody said Julia Roberts was getting on their last nerve, and mine too, in the beginning. So let's talk about it. So here's the thing. In the beginning of the movie, hold on, let me just check something because I had a notion about something that I saw. I just want to look this up real quick. Hold on. Okay, so I had to check on something because here's the thing. When I was watching that movie, one of the first things I noticed was when they were on the beach. So the family was on the beach at one part. This is in the beginning. And there was a ship, an oil rig is what they called it, an oil tanker. It washed up on the beach and it was huge and everybody starts running for cover. Now, on the side of that ship, it said White Lion. And I said, White Lion? Wasn't there a slave ship called the White Lion? And I knew that that was a subliminal because my spidey senses told me so. And so I kept thinking White Lion, and they kept showing it also on the screen. But then I said, wait a minute, wasn't there a slave ship called White Lion? So yeah, I just put up the receipt. So let's talk about it. In late August of 1619, 20 to 30 enslaved Africans landed at Point Comfort. Today it's known as Fort Monroe in Hampton, Virginia, by the way. Okay, they landed aboard the English privateer ship, the White Lion. It was called White Lion. All right, so I just want you all to pay attention. In Virginia, these Africans were traded in exchange for supplies. Now, there's another subliminal. I just figured this out right just now. That's another subliminal. In Virginia, the Africans were traded for supplies. In the movie, it's basically an apocalyptic psychological thriller. Okay, that's what I would call it. But in the movie, it's like they know towards the end they're going to have to barter for supplies. Okay, that's what they're going to have to do. But hold on. So it says, in Virginia, these Africans were traded in exchange for supplies. Several days later, a second ship called the Treasurer arrived in Virginia with additional enslaved Africans. Well, now let's talk about it. So like I said in the beginning, they're on the beach and this oil tanker ship hits the shore. Okay, so then later, they go back to the Airbnb that they've rented. Now, this is owned by a black man. And so that black man shows up knocking on their door. Now, he comes there because he was in town, okay? He was in New York, in the city of New York, right? And then there was a blackout. And so he said that he couldn't go to where he lives in the city because he had like a problem with his knee. He had surgery on it, and he wouldn't be able to climb the 14 stairs, or the 14 stairs, right? So with that all being said, he comes out to this house that he's rented. Now, Julia Roberts seems like she's racist. And she's like, not even believing. You can tell by her facial expressions. She looks reluctant. And some of the things that she later says would make you believe that she doesn't believe this black man owns this beautiful home that they're renting. And so she's asking her husband all these questions. So long story short, the man and his daughter, they end up staying there as well. And they tell them the reason they came there is because they couldn't stay in the city. And they tell them about the blackout and all of that. But the man also has some more information that he doesn't reveal at that time. Well, long story short, strange things start to happen. Okay, Queen, these people playing with us, those are all threats. I was like that. I was like, what Julia know about Blackstreet? Says Aya. Now, so with that all being said, here's the thing. So they're in this home. And Ethan Hawke wants to go to town to try to find out what's really going on. This is the day after the man and his daughter arrive. So when the morning comes, Ethan Hawke wants to drive to town to see if he can get a newspaper because the phones are out, the internet's out and all of that. No one gets a signal. And so he goes to look for help to try to find out what's going on. Well, he gets lost because there's no road signs. Okay, he can't use the GPS because the phone's not working. And then there's no road signs, so he gets lost. But also on his way to town, he sees a Mexican woman in the middle of nowhere on the road. And she's begging him for help. Now, she's speaking Spanish, so he doesn't know what she's saying. He has no idea. But she's asking him for help. And then he tells her that he doesn't have a phone signal. And then so he leaves her there stranded. Now, that's very interesting, right? That's important because later he didn't offer that woman any help. He just drove off and left her there to fend for herself in the middle of nowhere when there's clearly, power outages and all of that. Well, then later on, he's the one who needs help because his son wakes up sick. Okay, he's got a fever, he has nausea, he's vomiting, his teeth start falling out of his mouth. And then they find out that he has radiation poisoning because there was a loud some type of supersonic sound, right? And so that was actually, they didn't know it at the time, but that was actually like a microwave attack. You all know I've told you about those microwave weapons before that they use. So they created this sound, and that was radiation was espoused. So with that all being said, his son had radiation poisoning, and they needed help. Now, he didn't help that woman, but now he needs help. So that's ironic. And then they go to Kevin Bacon's house. Now, with that all being said, once they get there, now see, the black guy tells him, the black guy's name is GH. All right. So GH tells him that they should go to his neighbor's house. I think his name was Danny, but he said Danny had all these supplies and everything. He's been stockpiling stuff for months. And so they can go there and he likely has whatever they need to help the son. So once they get there, much to his surprise, his neighbor's not willing to help them. And see, that's subliminal too, because what have I been telling you all? I've been telling you all that if we have a cyber attack and everything goes out, you better have food for yourself and water because people are going to be desperate and nobody's going to be trying to help anybody. It's going to be every man for themselves. Okay. And God for us all. And that people will turn on each other. I told you better have weapons and ammunition to protect and defend yourselves and your families. Did I not tell you all that? Because at the end of the day, people will be burglarizing people's homes, breaking in and trying to steal from you because if they don't have supplies, what do you think they're going to do? And people are not going to want to share. So that's what Kevin Bacon did in the movie. He didn't want to share. He said, I don't know why you're here, but I can't help you. And he pulls out his rifle, like a sawed-off shotgun. So he points it at them and tells them to get off of his property. And GH, the black guy, he can't believe it. He can't believe it. And so then they get into this standoff because now GH pulls out his gun. And then so the Ethan Hawke, his character gets in between them. So anyway, in the end of it, they come to a decision that I guess Kevin Bacon's humanity kicks in. And so he goes ahead and he gives them some medicine, some antibiotics to treat the boy after they give him $1,000. And here's another thing. He said something about cash would be the only thing because there would be no Venmo. There would be no PayPal. There would be no cash apps. Didn't I tell you all that too? Didn't I tell you that? That if we have this sort of problem, there would be no way to wire money and send money and all of that stuff. I told you all of this. I just want you all to pay attention. Okay. So with that all being said, another thing that was interesting about the movie that was a subliminal is that the daughter in the movie, she had on a NASA shirt. I noticed that right away because my son has the same shirt, but she had on a NASA shirt. And so that made me think about, how we've been hearing for years, how NASA manipulates the weather and they do all these nefarious things and all of that. Okay, Stacy said, yes, you did. Okay, so then there's another part where there's a plane. This plane is dropping flyers, red flyers, and the son reads the language or whatever. Somebody says that it means death to America. I think that's actually Kevin Bacon's character, if I'm not mistaken. But somebody sees the flyer and said that they know that it means death to America. Now, the family thought it was in Arabic at first, but then Kevin Bacon tells them, no, it's Mandarin. He says it's the Koreans. I'll bet you it's the Koreans. He said that a friend of his told him that they were dropping the same type of flyers where he lived, and that he says that he knows it's Mandarin. He said, now it could be Chinese or, but he really believes it's the Koreans. And I want you all to pay attention to that too, because I told you all about the Chinese police. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this email. I sent somebody an email about a dream that I had. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Like, sub, everyone, please like and share. Let me see if I can find this email so I can read it to you. Hold on, I'm on the wrong email account. Hold on just a second. Because I had a dream, and I think I told you all this on live. I had a dream about the Chinese. Where is it? Here it is right here. I sent this to Taharka Bay. I sent this to Taharka Bay October the 22nd of 2022. Let me share my screen so you all can see this. I'm not going to show the whole thing, but I will let you all see that I'm not making this up. Pay attention. If you all can see that, let me see if I can zoom in. Can you all see that? Okay, I sent that to GS, aka Taharka Bay. Now, so I'm not going to read the whole email, but basically I told him that I had a dream because it was me and him in the dream and some other guy who I didn't recognize, but he was Taharka's friend in the dream. And so I told him how we saw this huge black military tank with Chinese men inside of them, and it had red Chinese writing on the sides. Now, hold on. We were going into a building to take his friend's mother lunch because she worked there. And then I started recording the Chinese police tanks. I said this because I actually had a dream about a year ago. Okay, I had a dream about a year ago that Chinese police were in the U.S. riding around in tanks in neighborhoods going door to door, specifically black neighborhoods. I told people this on a live last year. Now, I recently found out that there are actually Chinese police stations right here. And so I just thought it was interesting, that I had this dream. Now, at the end of the day, I'm not going to read the whole thing like I said, but I just wanted to let you all know that I did say that. But also, you may remember that I told you another time that these Chinese people came here and they were in helicopters and they were dropping red flyers and they were dressed all in black. And the trucks that they were riding around in those tankers were black with red writing on the sides. I just want y'all to pay attention. Terry Hinn said, I remember that dream, Queen. Thank you, beloved. Okay. So this is all very crazy. Tasty Cake said, I remember when Queen talked about the dream a while back. Thank you. Nessa G said, I remember you saying this. I just want you all to pay attention. Is this crazy or not? Is this crazy or not? But hold on. So anyway, I don't want to give up too many spoiler alerts, but this is what I'm going to say. At the end of the day, in that movie, the little girl kept wanting to see the end of Friends, the last episode, but she couldn't see it because of all the electricity going out and all of that. But she kept being fixated on the last episode of Friends. Now, if any of you remember the last episode of Friends, they basically all went their separate ways. It was 6 of them, and they all went their separate ways. I want you to pay attention because in this movie, there's 6 of them. Okay? Capricorn said, Queen, what is the movie called? It's called Leave the World Behind, beloved. It's called Leave the World Behind. And at the end of the day, Obama supposedly said that when they were making this movie, he used some of his knowledge that he learned as president to get this movie done just the way he wanted it. Samantha says, I remember, Queen. Thank you, beloved. So with that all being said, the whole thing about Friends, I knew that it had to be significant because the little girl kept talking about it. At the end of the movie, she finds a house where there's supplies in there. The little girl, that is. The little girl was lying in the bed with her mother one day, and she said, I'm tired of waiting. Basically, she was tired of just sitting around doing nothing and waiting for help to come. Because even the little girl, it's so ironic that the youngest one of all had the sense and wherewithal to know that nobody's coming to save us. I'm tired of waiting. So she goes missing. So the mother and everybody goes looking for her. Now, the father and GH go to get medicine for the son, but the mother and the GH's daughter, they're still looking for the little girl, Rose. So they're out there looking for her. They can't find her. And then her mother says she might be in that house up there because there was a house up the hill. Well, that's where she was. She was in the house eating all the snack. Just like I told you, people would break in and start stealing people's food and supplies. That's what the little girl did. Then she goes down some stairs and finds a bunker inside of the house. She goes into there and she sees all of this food and water that's stockpiled, just like I've been telling you all to do. Okay. And then she sees all of these video collection, and she finds the movie Friends, the last episode that she's been waiting on, and she sits down to watch it. That's where the movie ends. That's where the movie ends. At the end of the day, the subliminal to me at that point was that it'll be everyone for themselves. Nobody's coming to help you, and everyone's going to be selfish, because even the little girl was selfish. When she found all of that food and everything, she didn't even bother to go back and tell her mother. She heard her mother calling her too, by the way. She heard her mother calling her name when they were looking for her. And she started walking towards the door, but then something drew her attention to the stairs, and she went down in that bunker and she saw that food and stuff, and she saw the movie that she wanted to watch. So she took out the CD. At the end of the day, she didn't even go back and tell them that there was any food or anything in there. And here's the thing, the movie leaves you guessing. At the end of the movie, this is what I also thought was ironic. At the end of the movie, we're left wondering what happens next. What happened to those people? Just like the little girl in the movie kept trying to figure out what happened to the friends in the last episode. So I'm telling you, this movie was all good. It was really good at the end of the day. And then some of you are asking, what were the deer indicative of? All those deer that kept showing up? I don't know. I didn't figure that part out. If anybody did, let me know. But there was a couple of scenes where there were like 100 of deer just gathered. And then at one point, they went to start to attack GH's daughter. And then Julia Roberts, who was basically acting all racist in the beginning, she actually helped the girl get rid of the deer. They both worked together to get rid of the deer to save themselves. And then they hugged. So that shows you that even the people that you think or the people that you don't like or you don't want to be bothered with, you're going to need those people in the end. Because at the end of the day, we're going to be all we have. So I just want you all to pay attention. Another thing too is at the end, towards the end, GH says something about what his friend, who's one of the higher ups, told him. He says that his friend basically told him that he was going to meet up with his evil cabal that he sees once a year. And then so the way he said it, GH took it as a joke. So then GH, well, this is kind of in the beginning, this part. So then GH repeats that same joke to someone else. And then he says, you're going to meet up with the evil cabal? I mean, it is the winter solstice. And then so the man didn't even crack a laugh at him. Okay, the man didn't even think it was funny. And so basically the man just told him, good luck. I wish you could come with me. That let him know that that man knew something. So when all this stuff starts happening, GH is wondering if possibly his friends, you know, if this is what they knew all along, but didn't say anything because maybe they couldn't. And so at the end of the day, this movie is also nefarious, and y'all need to watch it. If you haven't seen it, it is really good. Okay, there's a lot of other subliminals in there. I know I forgot some of the stuff at the end of the day. Let me see if I jotted anything down to remind myself. What did you think about those deer and how it was approaching them? Yeah, you know, I didn't understand the meaning of the deer. I'm still pondering that. So here's what they said towards the end. This is what GH was saying towards the end. He talked about the Civil War. He said that they had likely planned it this way because it was basically he was saying that different countries seem to have turned on the U.S. Didn't I tell you all that a few months ago when I talked about BRICS and how they were all getting together to form their own currency and how other nations wanted to join BRICS? I told you that as well. But so anyway, he says that the weapon systems made them vulnerable to extremists and their own military. Said that people will turn on each other. There's 3 stages of this whole thing. I believe it was 3 or 4 stages. The 3rd stage was a civil war, and saying that basically the people that were against the U.S. felt like it would be more cost effective to destabilize a country, okay, and make everybody turn on themselves. So that's what it was all about. Destabilizing the country, all of these other nations turning against the U.S., and then once everything is destabilized, then people would turn on each other. Like Kevin Bacon turned on GH, basically telling him, I'm not going to help you. And so that's like the gist of it. And then, of course, people would need food and water, and it would be everyone for themselves and God for us all at the end of the day. And he said this would lead to civil war. Now, I also talked to you all about a civil war, so I just want you all to pay attention. Okay? That all being... Nicole said the flamingos. Yeah, you know, that's another interesting thing too. What did those flamingos mean? I'm glad you brought that up. Hold on, let me see something real quick. Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to look at the etymology of the word to see if that would give me a clue. No, I don't think that's anything to do with it because it just means flame. I don't know. But at the end of the day, this is all nefarious and y'all should watch it. It's a really good movie, but I find it very interesting that Barack and Michelle Obama put this together and that he gave extensive notes about all of this. Okay? At the end of the day. And this movie didn't seem like a work of fiction. It seemed like something that absolutely could happen. All right. So another thing is, you know how we've been talking about these zombies and stuff, a zombie apocalypse? I don't think that's going to be it. Quite frankly, Queen, look at the deer and flamingo meaning in dreams, says Root Trackers. Okay, good idea. Queen, did you see the radio station he turned on while he was driving? 1619. Yes, he did. Thank you for bringing that up. Beloved. So he did turn the radio to 1619. And guess what? Isn't that the year that slavery started in the U.S.? Hold on. Hold on, beloveds. Let me look up the meaning of flamingos again. This is all nefarious. I just want y'all to pay attention. Actually, 1619 is actually the year that slaves were first brought to Virginia. Now that goes back to that oil tanker that washed up on the shore because it was called the White Lion. It was called White Lion, and that's the same name of that ship that brought slaves to Virginia. Okay, I just want y'all to pay attention. So that's all crazy. That's what that was basically symbolizing. Okay. Hold on. Hold on, beloveds. Okay, it says that flamingos in your dream could mean let them be your guidance. Let them be your guidance in life. I don't know what that has to do with the movie. Let me look up the deer. Now it says, what is the spiritual meaning of deer? That's what I looked up. Deer may show up when you want to give and receive unconditional love, or when you want to stop being so hard on yourself or others. Ultimately, deer represent gentleness and heart intelligence. So deer may present themselves to you if you've been hurt and your heart needs tending. Okay. I don't think that's it either. Hold on. Only thing I can say is maybe the deer were a sign of strength, because it talks about deer in the Bible and it says, the Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like deer's feet, enables me to go in high places. So I don't know. Maybe that's what the deer had to do with it. But this is all nefarious at the end of the day. Maybe the deer was there for Ruth because her mom died. I don't know. Totem of the deer is return to nature, says the Empress Sheba. Okay. Well, like I said, you all need to watch this movie because it's really juicy. Okay, so now let's talk about Diddy. And there's a lot of subliminals in the movie. You have to really be paying attention or you'll miss those things. But like I said, one of the things that I thought was interesting is that, you know, how people won't help someone who's in need of help. But then when they need help, they beg for it, because Ethan Hawke literally was begging, said, I don't know what to do. I don't know what else to do. So I'm doing the only thing I can. Please, please, I'm begging. He begged for help. I want you to pay attention, because that Mexican woman was begging him for help and he didn't do anything. Now, quite frankly, there's no way that I could have left that woman on the side of the road under the circumstances. There's no way I could have left her on the side of the road. I would have had to let her get in the car with me and taken her to wherever I was going. But also, I want you to pay attention that Ethan Hawke said that he got lost on the road. And it just goes to show how we are so dependent. We're almost codependent on our electronic devices, on our GPSs. How many of you know how to get to certain places without using a GPS? Places that you've never been before. Would you know how to find those places? What would you do if you didn't have your cell phone? It was nowhere near you. You couldn't get any help or any internet service. What would you do? So many people would be lost. That's why Ethan Hawke was lost. Okay? I just want you all to pay attention. But the main thing is, you all still need to be following those lifelines that I've been giving you since 2020. At the end of the day, looks like after all, they're going to come in handy. Please pay attention. So with that all been said, let's talk about Diddy. Let's talk about Diddy. Okay, so first thing is, when I was talking about the death circle around Diddy, you know who I left out? Do you all know who I left out of that whole situation? Shakur Stewart. Do you all remember Shakur Stewart died in 2008, wasn't it? But hold on. So let's talk about what it says about his death. Now, this is an article that I went and dug up. Then I'm going to tell you what Mark Curry said about his death in his book, Dancing with the Devil, that I believe came out in 2009. Okay, so here is what it says. This is an article that came out in 2008, November the 3rd of 2008. And I want you all to pay attention to the fact that Kim Porter died in November, Shakur Stewart died in November, and Diddy got exposed in November. Hold on. Okay, so here's what it says. One of the most powerful figures in hip hop, famous for signing Beyonce, as well as Rick Ross and Sierra, and he was based in Atlanta, mind you. He died on Saturday from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now, this is what the article says. Shakur Stewart, executive vice president of Def Jam and one of the most powerful figures in hip hop, died this week by an apparent, well, at his own hands. I don't want to say the S word. Now, police reported that the man who signed Beyonce was found in his bathroom at around 4 p.m. on Saturday, suffering from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was taken to Atlanta's Keystone Hospital, where he died later that day. Though further details have not been released, Def Jam confirmed Stewart's death in a statement yesterday. Def Jam chairman L.A. Reid and all of us at Island Def Jam Music Group are deeply saddened by the passing of our dear friend and colleague Shakur Stewart. Shakur was an amazing man in every sense of the word, a truly incredible friend and father who was an inspiration to not only our artists and employees, but to his family and the many people that had the privilege of counting on him as a friend. Our hearts and prayers go out to him and go out to his family at this very difficult time. Now, Stewart had only recently taken over the label, succeeding Jay-Z after the rapper's departure in June. Stewart at the time called it his dream job. The Oakland, California native began his career in a more humble way, passing out concert flyers at seven clubs at night, 7 days a week in 20-degree weather. He later worked for LaFace Records and Hitco Music Publishing before joining Def Jam. The artists he was responsible for signing include Ciara, Rick Ross, Young Jeezy, Beyonce, and Karina Pacion. Now, interviews after his summer hiring, Stewart spoke of the need for music executives to file 27-hour days. He says, I want a lot of kids who want to live the lifestyle, but don't want to put in the work and do what it takes. Okay, so anyway, well, here's the thing. In the book written by Mark Curry, who was formerly a songwriter for Bad Boys, and also a friend of Diddy's. Well, in his book, Dancing with the Devil, he basically said that Diddy had threatened this man about Kim Porter. Let me put his face up on the screen too. Shakur's face, for those of you who don't know who I'm talking about. Now, he said that Diddy had threatened this man because they went on a trip or something, and then Kim had some text in her phone from Shakur. And in one of the texts, Shakur asked her something about her children, saying, how are my babies doing? So Diddy got livid. He was fuming mad, okay? And then he confronted Shakur, banging on his door. I can't remember if he went to his house or his hotel he was staying at or whatever, but he banged on the door until the man answered. And then he was like, what the hell you doing sending Kim text messages and saying that my children are yours? And he was just going off. And then so they say that he assaulted the man. Now they say that Diddy had his backup with him because Mark Curry says that Diddy would never confront anybody by himself. He always had his backup. But supposedly he jumped on the man, beat him, and they even say that he hit the man with a chair, okay, and threatened him. And so in the months leading up to his death, they say that Shakur was talking about, he was paranoid. He felt like people were following him and all of these things. And I want you all to pay attention, because didn't they say that Kim also said that she felt like somebody was following her? Isn't that what Al B. Sure supposedly said? I just want y'all to pay attention. And then this man comes up deceased. Now, this was all supposedly in 2007 when the confrontation started. But then I believe it was 2008. When he passed away, like months later. So I just find it all very interesting. Yeah, it was 2008, but I think the confrontation between he and Diddy was maybe the end of 2007 or somewhere around that time. And then some people also say that that's when and why Diddy broke Kim's nose on the yacht. They say that that's when Diddy found the text messages in her phone or whatever. And they say this is all alleged, mind you. But they say that's when he supposedly broke her nose on the yacht. And also remember that when her nose got broken, they said Diddy flew in a specialist to fix it, a specialist who was a plastic surgeon or whatever, and says that basically the story was that Kim tripped and fell and hit her nose on a table. Now, I don't know about y'all, but that sounds clearly suspicious to me. You hit your nose on a table and broke it, but that's how that went. So I just want you all to pay attention, but hold on. And then also Jackie Long. You all know the actor Jackie Long, who played in, what was the movie he played in? ATL with T.I. and Lauren London. Now, they said something about Diddy getting upset about him. Now, this is a report from 2010, October of 2010. It says, in case the link doesn't come up, here's what it read. October the 28th of 2010, Media Takeout just received a stunning report. Diddy just threatened his baby's mother, Kim's new boyfriend, Jackie Long. Here's what we know. For years, Diddy has basically been keeping Kim as a kept woman. He pays all of her bills and gives her extra child support. In return, he expects her to look the other way with his jump offs and not to be romantically involved with any other men. According to our insider, Kim has generally agreed to this arrangement, but recently she began seeing actor Jackie Long from the movie ATL. Now, MediaTakeout.com learned that Diddy found out about Jackie and Kim, and he threatened Jackie. Specifically, Diddy told him that he was going to erase him from the earth and that he will have him deleted. Okay, that's what it says. So let me show this to you. Now, this isn't what I'm saying because this is all alleged as far as I'm concerned, but I'm just telling you what the article says. Hold on. If y'all can see that. So says that he would have him killed. Now, I don't know if Diddy said that or not, but this is what Media Takeout reported. Jackie tells our snitch is considering filing a harassment complaint against Diddy with the LAPD. And this isn't the first time that Kim slipped up and nearly got a dude killed. The first time was with deceased record executive Shakur Stewart. A well-placed insider explained that Kim was seeing Shakur and Diddy found out and he went apeshite. He tracked Shakur down at his hotel. Then Diddy went up there without security and beat him to a bloody pulp. Don't let the shiny suits and curls fool you. Diddy will F a ninja up. Wow, who knew that Diddy was gangster like that? So that's what they said. Now, I will say that there was a report that Diddy confronted Shakur by himself, but there was also a report that he went and confronted him with his goons. And at one point that he was going to hit him with the chair or was about to hit him with the chair and all of that. So like I said, the details are in Mark Curry's book. Mr. Otessa, all these stories have similar details in them. They all ain't lying. Diddy is a sick dog. Okay. I mean, it sounds like it. Cosmic Thought says, Queen, the son said it's death to America. He learned it from a video game. Right. Thank you, Cosmic Thoughts. Right. As for the movie, Leave the World Behind, the son said the son is the one who said it was death to America. Thank you, beloved. Yeah. And he did learn it from a video game. Okay, so Queen Sam says, so Diddy can live his best life, but I'm to sit here and do nothing. F out of here. Exactly. That's how it seems, right? Obsidian Blaze says Martin Lawrence flipped out for the same. They were after him. I remember that when they said Martin was standing on the corner with a gun and all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. Nessa G said he needs to be in jail. Exactly. Stacy said Jackie Long is handsome. Yeah, he is. So this is all nefarious as far as I'm concerned. Nisa Q said you heard a story about him, real similar. Okay. So with that all being said, Kenny Burns. Let me put Kenny Burns up on the screen. Now, Kenny Burns, I'm bringing him up because in some of the audio I'm going to play, it talks about Kenny Burns, if I'm not mistaken. And Kenny Burns was a friend of Diddy's, and I believe they may have fallen out because of their the fact that Kenny Burns was saying something about Diddy telling people not to vote. On Tuesday, this is a report from April 29th of 2020. On Tuesday, Diddy took to social media to declare that the black vote will not be free this year, demanding black leverage despite the obligation to replace Donald Trump. In response, Kenny Burns took to Instagram to call out Diddy, hashtagging the media mogul's own political slogan, vote or die. He says, Puff, this statement is very irresponsible at this point. The only option is to get Trump out of office. Come on, champ. Encouraging people to stand, but it's not encouraging people to stand by is not an option. However, the post was quickly removed from Diddy's page, and in return, Burns was then blocked. Now the lifestyle specialist is speaking out about the exchange and doubling down on his stance against the media mogul. During the latest episode of Baller Alert, Burns shared his side of the story and the problem he had with Diddy's initial declaration. He said, I was baffled. I was like, what do you mean? I'm literally saying what you said. What you said was irresponsible. The thing would have been to reply with the black agenda. Now, everyone knows that there is a Black agenda that has to be addressed. The problem I had with the video are two things in specific. He made a comment that this was business. We all know that Donald Trump ran his entire campaign on business. This is not just business 6 months before the election, Burns says. What he fails to realize every time in his superhero moment, in his fearless Black leader moment, is that this is not about you. You are not personally holding our vote as a community. That's not a responsible way to share the information. Burns continued by saying that he explained why he left the comment and what he planned to accomplish by leaving the comment. He also revealed that while many agree with Diddy's sentiments, including Charlamagne the God and Angela Rye, Killer Mike, and more, at the end of the day, if you tell someone that it is not educated, if you tell someone that's not educated in politics that you're standing by holding the vote hostage, you're telling people essentially not to vote. So as the conversation continued, the host discussed celebrity responsibility and addressed Justin Combs' reaction to the entire ordeal before Burns ended with his final thoughts on why the post was irresponsible. That was an awe moment with nothing to define, and that's irresponsible. So that's what Burns said. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a couple of videos. One of them is a video that has recently resurfaced with Diddy kissing his mother in the mouth and saying some things that I thought were he said something that I definitely thought was inappropriate, okay? He said something that I thought was inappropriate to be said about your mom. Like, that didn't make any sense to me. But I'm going to share this video. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. And I got this video from Tissa Tales. So shout out to Tissa Tales for this.
What's up, Mom?
Everything's good, baby. I'm here with you.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too. My baby.
Mine freshly dipped though. I was just trying to show you shit. Yeah, my mom's a single. Mom's a single. I ain't gonna hate on my mom's. She's single. Me and my mom talked about one time doing a dating show with her. And she's so picky. She's so picky, they don't stand. But yeah, that'd be the funniest show in the world.
It will be. Especially with me.
I don't even want to get started if she was doing that. We're not doing that. Cause yeah, my mom's single. Yeah, for real. Mom do know how to have a good time. She ain't sitting in the house playing. They outside moving and shaking, baby. She come with me to strip club. I don't care. For real. It's my dog. You know, I want to live life. We out here moving and grooving. So my mom told me, she just said, keep moving, baby.
That's right.
Keep moving.
Don't stop.
She could touch the floor with her palms. You know? Flat. Oh.
Okay, so that was sick. First of all, he kissed his mom in the mouth. I'm not going to say anything about that because maybe that's what some people do with their moms. I don't know. I don't kiss my sons in the mouth. They kiss me on the cheek and I kiss them on the cheek. But here's the thing. Say what now? You take your mom to the strip club with you. Who does that? Second of all, he said his mother likes to have fun and she could touch the floor with her palms. And then she said flat and they both laughed. First of all, how does he know his mother can touch the floor with her palms flat? How does he know that? Has he seen her do it? Or did she tell him? Either way, it's sick. Either way, it's sick. Who's talking about their mom like that? How does he know that she can touch the floor with her palms flat? Did he see her do this? Or did she tell him? Either way, it's disgusting. Either way, it's disgusting. That's all I'm saying. Make it all make sense. But hold on. Let me pull this up.
We have to come to the reality that nobody is coming to save us. No one is coming to save us. Out of all the business revenue in America, only 1% goes to black businesses. But then there's an accountability from us, because we have a $1.8 trillion buying power, and only 2% of that we circulate in our own communities. So we can't complain. We know what it is. It's time to change the tone. We have to unify our dollars, else nothing will change. We have to weaponize the almighty black dollar to save us, because we can't have these festivals and conventions, but then we leave here and we don't understand the power of our $1.8 trillion spending power, that we only give 2% to ourselves. So I'm here to speak from love. I'm love. Self-love is making sure that you take care of yourself, your family, and your people first. And you can't wait for nobody to come save you. So there is a solution. Things are definitely dismal as far as what's planned for us, but there's a way out. If we unify, but we got to truly, truly unify. We have to truly, truly start making decisions that support our communities. We can't think that there's a government grant that's going to come and just free us all. We have to get to hustling, working together, and changing the tone. Yeah.
Okay, so Diddy was sitting there acting like he's all for black people and all of this and that. But if he were really for black people, I'm sorry. Most of the artists that he took the money from, that he robbed, that are complaining about how he used them and abused them and kept their money and all of that stuff, and their publishing and all of that stuff, well, most of those people are black. So he's not the one to sit there and speak about black empowerment and talk about how, you know, we need to we need to start working for our businesses and all of that stuff, and how we need to put our money together and all of that. He's not the one to be seen as a black leader, is all I'm saying. You're the same one that's doing the same thing, exploiting black people. He's been exploiting black people, in my opinion, for decades. So he's not the one, certainly, to be out here trying to give us advice, okay? Now, here is a time when Diddy was acting like, oh, I'm trying to help black people. I need y'all's help. I need y'all's help. Now, mind you, the first time I saw this video was in September. And in September, when he put this video out, that's when I think it came out. At the end of the day, Diddy already knew at that point that Cassie was coming for him. Okay, because remember, they said that this had been going on. His own attorneys said this had been going on for 6 months. They've been in negotiations. They didn't call it negotiations, though. They called it blackmail. Said Cassie had been trying to blackmail them. Well, if that's the case, why didn't they file charges? Their attorneys, if they know blackmail is being done, why didn't they file charges? Why didn't they tell Diddy to file charges? Okay, so clearly they were having negotiations, okay, for 6 months. So Diddy knew all of this stuff was likely going to come out when he made this video.
Yeah. And my mission and my purpose is to do whatever and play whatever role that I have to play into saving the black race, number one. And number two, to making sure that everybody of all colors, all backgrounds, all creeds, all nationalities, all get this. We all get the same 24 hours. You can buy Disney for us, okay? So if you are one of these unicorn executives, please send me your resumes and your portfolios to God's work, because I'm doing God's work, you're doing God's work. God's work at combsglobal.com. I'm doing the biggest human resources investment from the top level of CMOs to COOs to general managers down to...
He really needs to sit down somewhere. Hold on.
Whatever, and play whatever role that I have to play into saving the black race, number one. And
yeah, bro, we not buying it. You've been in the game since the 90s, Diddy. 30 years, bro. 30 years. You've been 100 millionaire for at least 25 of them years. And just 3 years ago, God came to you and wants you to save the black race? You, of all people, is the black Messiah. You couldn't even save Big.
Okay, so with that all being said, I'm going to play some audio for you all, several different clips. So be patient because there's a few of them. And shout out to Tough News TV, because Tough News TV has an insider who's giving him information, sending him emails, who's giving him lots of information. So he has receipts. Okay, so with that all being said, I'm going to put an overlay up on the screen and then give me a moment to cue this video.
I want to say that everything that I'm about to convey to you is all alleged. This email is on fire, y'all, right? And so there were some things that I decided not to talk about. I have another portion of the email, but I left it out because it's that heavy. So let's go ahead and get into it. And it says here, man, what I'm about to regurgitate to you is some monstrous and repulsive information, dog. Bro, when I heard this it really caught me off guard, to say the least. So before we get into the meat and potatoes, I'm told that Kim Porter says she had proof that Diddy had Heavy D knocked off as well. The reason he had Heavy D knocked off is because Heavy D was working on a tell-all book as well about his life and the evil side of the business. Heavy D had conversations with Kim about Diddy being involved in H10, and I'm paraphrasing there. And he also voiced his displeasure of how Usher was taken advantage of when Usher lived with Diddy for a year. Heavy D was working on his book months prior before he died, and he confided in Kim about a lot of things and told her some secrets she didn't even know. Remember, they all started together at Uptown. Now, guess who the F was the corner for Heavy was when he passed? Ed Winter. The autopsy of Heavy came back inconclusive, just like Kim's did. And when they ran further toxicology tests, Ed Winter came across something that raised the red flag. He noticed that there was a toxin that causes clotting and immense suppression of the function of the lungs. And according to someone who previously worked with Ed Winter, said that Heavy D death was a homicide. Also, peep this weird connection. They said that Heavy D was suffering from a touch of pneumonia, just like they said about Kim. Now, this was said to be a false diagnosis because the toxin that was used on both Kim and Heavy weren't the same, but they will make a person feel as though they were experiencing flu-like symptoms. I'm told that when Ed Winter conducted the autopsy for Kim and found out that foul play was involved, he said that he would never be bullied into masking the truth again. Ed essentially said that there was a toxin found in Heavy D's toxicology report that caused clotting issues, and Heavy D's weight fluctuation over the course of his life was a perfect excuse to cover up what really happened to him. I'm told Ed Winter's exact words was people would just automatically assume that his weight played a significant role in his passing, and it didn't. I tried to look up info about that, but I didn't come across anything. But I believe it. Also, I was told that Cassie had a foot put up her tush by Diddy, and I'm paraphrasing here, in the midst of having a train ran on her because she said she was sore and needed a break. Instead, he suggested she use an ice pack afterwards because he made it clear that there are no blanking breaks. We don't take blanking breaks around here, Diddy implied. Cassie also talked about being to the bedpost blindfolded on many occasions while random men would come in and arm her. Cassie also said that there were many instances where she was blindfolded and other girls were brought into the room off the street, but she never saw their faces and only heard their moans and groans after being coerced to do acts on her and the guys involved. But Cassie's recollection of the voices she heard did not sound as if it was coming from a group of mature women. She also says that even if it was that time of the month, she was still sometimes forced to do acts. She also says that Diddy wanted her to get permission from him when he helped out her parents or other family members financially and control when she spoke to them. Now, this is where it gets wild. Cassie says that Diddy found out about her and Kim's conversations and their frequent meetups before Kim died. He had Cassie's phone records pulled and saw text messages that were from a number that was unfamiliar to him. Kim had a burner phone, so to speak. But the context of the text messages between Cassie and that number pointed to the fact that she was talking to Kim. Cassie says that's the last time Diddy put pause on her because that was the moment she knew for sure that it was time for her to escape. It's also been explained to me that Cassie said that one of the most humiliating things that Diddy made her do that makes her feel yucky even to this day is when he made her sleep with a couple of his sons. I would go into further detail, but it's too graphic. Hey, bro, I sent every recording, documents, and emails to dude. You know who and what I'm talking about. So you are thoroughly covered. Later, 100. All right, so you got...
Okay, so you all heard that, and saying that Diddy allegedly, of course, all of this is alleged, that Cassie had to sleep with 2 of his sons. This is all crazy. Teron Herring said, did he drug her? Well, Cassie said that in her lawsuit, beloved. She said in the lawsuit that there was copious amounts of drugs. Okay, so I'm going to cue the next video. Please get the likes up.
FaceTime, and she also had some direct connection to Kimura at one point in time. So let's go ahead and get into this email. And it says here, hey there, I used to work in the New York fashion industry in the 90s and early 2000s. My name is blank. I know Kimura personally, although I haven't spoken to Kimura verbally in years. I reached out to someone that works with her closely, and I can unswervingly say that Kimura is not at her home at the moment, and she is in an undisclosed location. I can also attest that she isn't at a hotel, and her kids have been taken out of school for an undisclosed reason. Kimura filed a report with the LAPD, and the primary reason she hasn't spoken on what happened is because this is morphing into a legal matter. Kimura had work done in her home not too long ago, and the daunting question is, was there something planted? Kimura left the house for safety reasons and was instructed to do so by LAPD while they investigate the home to make sure it's safe upon her return. I usually keep quiet and stay in my little corner of the world, but I witnessed a lot of things that I shouldn't have seen. I don't want to get into a lot because I don't want to relive the trauma I have witnessed, but what a lot of people don't know is that Kimura and Sean almost got into a physical altercation at Kim's house the day Kim was pronounced dead. Kimura could be heard screaming at Diddy, "What the F did you do?" Kimura also said, "I can't believe you would even," screaming frantically. Why? The LAPD, assigned paramedics, and the coroner had all witnessed the hostility and tension between Kimura and Sean at the scene. Sean wanted Kimura removed from the scene, but she told Sean and the police that she was here first and witnessed her friend laying on the floor lifeless, and she said she wasn't going anywhere. Kimura also dared the cops to arrest her because that is the only way she was leaving the premises. Ironically, Sean seemed to intervene and said there wasn't any need for all of that. I'm guessing taking Kimura to the station while she is in a very emotional state about her best friend just passing could have been a Cassie situation before the Cassie situation, minus the SA allegations, because this could have led Kimura to laying it all out on the table, telling what she knows about every crime Sean has been involved in to her knowledge. Kimura also told the LAPD that she had proof of being named in Kim's will as a guardian of Kim's twins if something were to happen to her, which means Kimura has a copy of the will, and I suspect there are other things that Kimura has even more ammunition to use against Sean. I wonder why she hasn't been able to get custody of the twins, because it's documented in black and white. Anyways, be safe, and you are in my prayers. Please don't mention my name. I just wanted to prove to you who I was. You can contact me at such and such and such.
All right, so you all heard that. That's someone who claims to know this information about Kimura having left her home and is in hiding. I want you all to pay attention because Kimura isn't the only one who's allegedly in hiding. They also said that Kim's former stylist was on the run or in hiding. You all remember I told you that? So hold on while I cue the next video.
Look at everything in its totality. It's clear and evident that Cassie had some type of conversation with Kim Porter before she passed, and some of the things that Kim Porter may have conveyed to her are coming to revelation. It's actually coming out, and a lot of people are starting to look at things for what they really are. Because when you look at it, it had to be something very criminal about what Kim Porter was going to implement in her book that had people so nervous and scared to the fact that they felt that it would be better off if Kim Porter was not here. But anyway, guys, what I want to do right now is read you something that slid across my desk. Now, I told you guys in a previous video that initially Cassie's lawsuit contained 60 pages, and there was a lot of information that was left out. Now, I do want to say that the information about Whitney and the information that I'm about to convey to you is all alleged, but it comes from a verifiable and dependable and credible individual that's close to the situation. So it says here, what's happening, Playboy? So I want to put you on notice about some more info that is coming from the original 60-page lawsuit that Cassie and our lawyers initially filed against Diddy. So it's been said that Jay-Z and Beyonce were implicated in the lawsuit for witnessing Diddy put pause on her and push her down at one of Diddy's parties. The location, time, and date of this occurrence was not given due to other privacy issues and other concerns regarding this matter. According to docs, Cassie fled upstairs and locked herself in one of the bedrooms after the incident with Diddy took place. Diddy's security tracked her down, and Cassie took about 30 minutes or more to get herself together. Once Cassie was on her way to returning to the party, Beyonce and Jessica Alba, who is an actress, y'all, were waiting in the foyer of the house to check on her. Cassie says that Beyonce was visibly upset, and as Diddy and Jay was walking towards them, Beyonce blew a gasket and screamed at Diddy, telling him that what he did was highly offensive and unacceptable, and Diddy got on his knees and apologized to Cassie, Beyonce, and Jessica. I'm told Beyonce was annoyed with Jay and asked him, why are you comforting him and being so supportive instead of checking him? It's been said that Beyonce then told Jay-Z, I'm starting to lose respect for you. I'm told shortly thereafter, Cassie, Beyonce, Jessica, Jay-Z, and about 20 to 25 more people ended up leaving the party after some witnessed the incident and others who heard what happened. I'm told Cassie left with Jessica and her entourage of 10 people that night instead of Beyonce for the sole purpose of not being tracked down by Diddy because of his connections with Jay-Z. Beyonce insisted. Cassie said someone called the cops because she was contacted the next day by law enforcement after the cops showed up to the house that same night after neighbors called and reported that there was total chaos going on in the neighborhood. But someone from the party called and anonymously reported what happened because Diddy was asked about laying hands on Cassie, which he denied, and Cassie chose not to cooperate or corroborate what was reported when she was contacted by law enforcement. Before the lawsuit was filed, Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Jessica were contacted because their names nor the incident made the cut in the 35-page lawsuit that the public has access to. All right, so you guys just heard that.
Okay, so I'm going to pause for a second just to get the next video queued. Please stay tuned.
Message on his social media page. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get into the email, right? So you know that I got this from my boy, right? My trusted plug. I'm feeling so good about these emails that I've gotten in the past 3 or 4 days. I'm talking and communicating with people that have been in the same room as Kim Porter, other individuals that are connected to Kim Porter. So let's go ahead and read this down. And it says, player, what's good? I'm just touching base with you to inform you about a few things that are being discussed underneath the Hollywood umbrella as it pertains to Diddy and Cassie's ordeal. So, man, when I tell you that it's been confirmed that Diddy not only paid male escorts to entertain Cassie and fulfill his gay fetishes, This also has been corroborated through his former assistant that Cassie has slept with a lot of Diddy's friends within the hip-hop industry at a few of his all-white parties against her will. I'm told that she has been passed around from label owners to big-time record execs all the way down to male rappers and R&B artists, male R&B artists as well. So not only did she have information about Kim Porter, she also had receipts on many music moguls and all of the foul and mortifying things that were done to her by them and other women. There are two big time execs in particular who make the hip hop industry go. And for clarification, so you will understand the power of these two individuals, no decision is made without their approval or consent within the hip hop industry. And honestly, they control all facets of the entertainment industry. So anyways, they inquired about sleeping with Cassie, and Diddy simply honored their request and made her do it. So she could have come out and said she was honored by many individuals in the industry, but as weird as this may sound, given Diddy's reckless history, it was safer to hold him accountable than to name drop other individuals within the lawsuit that violated her. Cassie was smart, I'm told. She had recordings, timestamps, footage, and the wildest thing that was said that she kept was some of the fluid from the men she slept with to keep some type of DNA track record. So who knows what may have been exposed if things did go to trial. Diddy had no choice but to fix it, or his days could have been numbered, because the people that would have been exposed run the world, so to speak, and they call all the shots. Also, Diddy has sent Kimora some legal documentation, basically wanting her to keep his name out of her mouth, and Kimora is set to respond with her own legal representation within the week or so. Kimora is said to be supportive of Cassie, but is highly disappointed of the fact that she basically said cut the check instead of holding Diddy accountable and potentially providing a pathway for other women who have been violated by him to come forth with their truths. I'm also told that there are 4 men who are considering filing charges against Diddy as well. I'm told that Farnsworth Bentley may have something to say. We will talk about that verbally, my guy. Look for the next 2 days to be a complete circus right before the New York Survivors Act expires. All right, so you guys just heard that.
All right, so one more clip. Hold on just a moment.
Get into this information that was sent to me this morning in regards to Kim Porter's daughters feeling some type of way about their father. And it says here, what's going on, bro? I just wanted to touch base with you because I was able to get some more details. So according to a friend of Kim Porter's, her twin daughters have been suffering in agony and depression after all the lawsuits that were recently filed against their dad. I'm told the twins secretly contacted Cassie and implied they wanted to speak to her about the death of their mom. They even asked Cassie if she thought that their dad had their mom deleted. I'm paraphrasing here, guys. Cassie has not responded to the twins as instructed by her lawyers for her safety and other legal reasons. However, Cassie did forward the messages from the twins to her lawyers and Kimora. I'm told the twins are on the brink of escaping and searching for a place of refuge from their unstable father. The twins have been very distant from Diddy, and he is trying to isolate them from Kimora specifically and anyone who was associated with Kim that could have some sort of influence over Delilah and Jesse. These lawsuits that have been filed against Diddy has really opened their eyes to the fact that their father is a manipulative liar and could be capable of deleting their mom. They have reportedly witnessed the intimidation, harassment, and belittling of their mother and Cassie with their own eyes. They're now starting to realize how demonic their father really is. I'm told the rest of Diddy's kids are even questioning a lot of things. According to a former Bad Boy artist, Kimora went to Diddy once again over a month ago and asked him, could she take the twins in? Kimora was shut down once again. This is the fourth time Kimora has been told that the twins can't move in with her. It's been said that Diddy has handpicked and selected women that had no connection to Kim to fill in the void when the girls need advice or guidance from a woman's perspective. But yo, I have more, just trying to go over the details to make sure I get this right. Yell at you later. All right, so you guys just heard all of that. Now, I told you all that Kimora was outside last night celebrating 50 years of hip-hop, and she posted this picture with Too Short, and the caption read, "Our time was had. Celebrating 50 years of hip-hop brought so many of us back together like a family reunion. The best, legends, hashtag I look too good." And so basically, a lot of people took notice that her daughter was in the comments, Aoki, saying, "Mom, stay inside." And so a lot of people equated that to the fact that Kimora just had this house fire and that Aoki was telling her to stay inside for a reason. And it's not above the realm of possibility given the fact that everything that's going on with Kimora and her family recently, right? And so I just found that odd and interesting that Aoki would just drop down in the comments and say, "Mom, stay inside." I just ultimately think that not only Aoki, but Kimora's other children and the rest of her family just have a fear for her life right now because of everything that she knows in regards to Kim Porter and the information that she has on Diddy. And so, like I said in my previous video, Kimora is a supreme target. She knows a lot in the industry. And I think that Aoki in the comments telling her mom to stay inside was for a reason. But anyway, guys, I'm going to let this go right here. Before I go, I do want to say this. I have to cover my tracks. Everything that I convey to you guys within that email is all alleged. I have to protect the integrity of my platform and things of that nature. But I'm going to let this go right here. I want you guys to drop down in the comments to let me know what you think about everything within this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
All right. All right. Hold on just a second, beloveds. Okay, so let's talk about it. So this is all very salacious details. And like he said, everything is alleged. But this is supposedly an insider who has been privy to certain informations, giving him these details. Another thing is, Rachel says the truth will prevail. Absolutely. Okay. So with that all being said, here's the thing. Notice Kimora's daughter, and I was on Kimora's page because I follow her too on Instagram. And yeah, she posted that picture of her and Too Short, and her daughter absolutely put on their mom, stay inside, okay? Because likely she's concerned for her safety. And not to mention the house already caught fire. And pay attention to the fact that they say Kimora had work done on the house previously. Could one of those workers have been paid to do something or put something in there? Who knows? But I find it all very interesting. Okay, and so apparently, according to the insider, allegedly, of course, Beyonce stepped in and said something about Diddy's treatment of Cassie. So that's another allegation. So I just find it all very interesting. You all need to pay attention. But another thing is Tough News TV says that there was a strange vehicle outside of his house and that he went out there, and the person drove away. First of all, they showed up at his house and said they were there to do a wellness check. I want you all to pay attention because somebody on my TikTok left me a comment saying, you need to be careful. And then somebody else left me a comment. I can't remember if it was on Twitter or where it was, but somebody said, you need to be careful about the information or something like that. Not that I took it as a threat, but like they were saying that I just need to be careful because of Diddy. But at the end of the day, Tough News TV says that someone showed up at his house saying that they were an officer and saying that they were there to do a welfare check on him. Now, they didn't want to give their name when he asked. They didn't want to give their badge number when he asked. And they said, well, I'm just here to do a welfare check and you look like everything's okay, so I'm just going to leave. So as they were leaving, he went outside to basically try to get their tag, but they didn't have a tag. So I find that all very suspicious. Another person who said they wanted to do an interview with him and said they were an attorney, when he started asking this person for their credentials, they started getting standoffish, like not wanting to contact him any further. And so he was asking a lot of questions. and this person didn't want to answer those questions, which leads me to believe in him as well, that something shady is going on, that this person may not be who they said they were. They could be someone trying to find out how much he actually knows or anything. So people have to be careful when you're telling these, giving these details, even though you're saying these things are alleged, you don't know if they happen for real. You're just getting this information out there. You have to be careful. Okay? You have to be careful, because I would have to imagine that Diddy and other people are likely desperate at this point, because let's not forget the lawsuit, the first lawsuit or initial lawsuit had 60 pages, and there were other people named in there. So, and remember, Jaguar Wright said, when asked the question, how many men or people in the entertainment business should be concerned if all the information that Cassie has comes out? And she said, oh, about a good 50. So please pay attention. All right. With that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning in once again. Please like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._A_Shakur, TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, Twitter at DGoddess27. Okay. Terry Hinn said, Queen, you be aware as well. I absolutely will, beloved. Thank you. So that all being said, the truth's going to come to light. We find out more and more nefarious things, or allegations, shall I say, each day. All right. So with that all being said, everyone just stay tuned, because I'm telling you, Diddy's going down. He's going to be in a cell right next to R. Kelly. Okay. And there's some other people going down too. So please pay attention. With that all being said, oh, and also I forgot to tell you all this. There's like 18 companies. Hold on. Let me see if I have that in here. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. I almost forgot to mention this. Hold on. Do I have that receipt? I'm sure I have it somewhere. Hold on. I might have to just look it back up. Okay, here it is right here. This came out yesterday, I believe. At least that's when I saw it. 18 companies cut ties with Sean Combs' business venture in wake of the S abuse allegations. Now they say 18 companies shared that they have cut ties with a business venture created by hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs amid a slew of allegations against the music mogul. Now, the companies confirmed with Rolling Stone magazine on Sunday that they severed relationships with Combs' recently launched platform Empower Global. Empower Global, founded by Combs in 2021, is an immersive e-commerce digital marketplace offering products from Black-owned businesses around the world. Now, the platform is said to elevate the Black economy by creating opportunities for Black entrepreneurs to build and scale successful businesses for consumers. Luxury bag, eyewear, and apparel company House of Takura founder Annette Zhao told the magazine that she cut ties with Empower Global after learning of Cassandra Ventura's, better known as R&B singer Cassie, learned of her lawsuit against Combs. She says, we take the allegations against Mr. Combs very seriously and find such behavior abhorrent and intolerable. Okay, we believe in victims' rights and support victims in speaking their truth, even against the most powerful of people. Fulaba is all about empowering women and girls. Fulaba founder Halle Berry said in a statement on its departure from Empower Global, according to Rolling Stone, said, we will not associate with anything or anyone that is counter to our values. In contrast, one company founder who asked Rolling Stone to remain anonymous said its business is sticking with the Combs-created e-commerce marketplace, noting that many brands had invested considerable time and capital into the platform, and many believed in the vision of former Empower Global CEO Khadijah Robinson, who left in February. Now, other businesses cited the allegations against Combs and lackluster performance as a reason for their departure. The news comes nearly a week after a fourth lawsuit was filed against the music mogul in the past few weeks. In a complaint filed in the Manhattan court. Well, we already know about that because I've already told you about that fourth allegation. So with that all being said, Diddy is losing his so-called friends. You know, he's been uninvited to the Grammys. Also taken off of Usher's Super Bowl halftime performance, and a myriad of other things allegedly. And now these companies, at least 18 of them, are severing ties with him. So with that all being said, he's going down like the Titanic, like I told you all weeks ago. With that all being said, stay tuned for the rest of it. All right, everyone, like and share, subscribe to the channel. With that, and also for those of you who follow the spiritual channel, I will be live on there sometime today. So for members only, so please stay tuned. And until next time, beloveds, I wish you all love, peace, and prosperity. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
Hey, yo, Nick, hit him with that flavor.
Gold all in my skin. God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther. Shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people. I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece. This time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got